welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Jane, and karibu sana. If you're returning from karibu tena. So I want to give a short story, and this is the main reason that I am here, or this is the main reason I keep going. This is what gives me strength. This is what gives me the energy to keep going. It's an experience I have had. And if you are new here, I'm a mom of two, and I'm a parent. I'm a single parent. So, or a single mom. But I don't like using the word single because I'm not doing it alone. I have family, I have friends. Yeah, so I don't like using that, but I'm a mom. And I thank God for that gift. I do. So I want to give you a short story, an experience I had, and I think I've had it twice with my firstborn. With my firstborn, or what just keeps me going, I don't know how you take it, or you put it, not really take it. So I'll start with my son. In 2019, when my son was around 8 months, he got sick, really sick. And 2019 has been ile mwaka ya majaribu for me. So 2019, when he was around 8 months, my son got sick, really sick. And I took this specific day, took him to hospital during the day. I remember I was working night shift that week, so I took him during the day, and we were given medicine, kaambia tu ni shida ya kifua, so tukapewa dawa, and we went back home. His fever was actually high, so he had a fever. So we came back home. He was not that okay, but he was playing, he was active. Then in the evening, I went to work. But now at around 10, my DM calls me, and she tells me my boy's fever is rising. Okay, my son's temperature is around 38, and the first thing I asked her is, have you given him his drugs? Has he eaten? And she was like, yes, he ate, and he was actually jovial, but right now his temperature is at 38, so he has a fever. So since she had given him the drugs, I suggested we wait, maybe itashuka. So I kept calling for like an hour. How is he? At around 11, she calls again, and she's like, it's risen to 39. Hi. And I panic. I call. No, at this point I'm not at home, so it's just my DM and my kids. And I call our caretaker. I tell him I need his help. So I tell him what to do. He goes, takes my kid and my DM, and they rush to the nearest clinic. He gets ile dawa, so he's attended to, and he's attended to, and the doctor suggests they just stay there for a while so that he can monitor him before I get there. So I leave work, and I leave work, head to the clinic. It's just around where we stay. Head to the clinic. So the Uber guy asks me a question. Okay, the Uber guy asks me, mtatibiwa hapa? So I tell him hapana. We're going to leave too, because this is a small clinic, and I don't want to take any chances. So I won't say that I need to get him to another hospital. So he tells me hatushughulikia pesa, ngoja kwanza enda uangalie venye anakaa, kama unatoka ni wapeleke. And I just tell God at that point, this is you. So I go, the doctor explains to me he tells me my son has pneumonia, and it's not looking good because he was not breathing with his nose. He was trying to breathe with his mouth. So he explains to me what the medicine he had given him, and that's why he kept them there. And I had also talked to him through my DM's phone. I was on my way. So I explained to him why we can't stay there. And then he also wanted to give him some injections, but I explained to him why he can't, and since it's not looking good, let us just go to somewhere where we can even get admission if it has gotten to that. So I pick my son, kamaliza na daktari, and I left. And my DM, they went back to the house because my daughter was alone and she was sleeping, so hata hawakumwamsha. So I get into the Uber and the guy takes us to the nearest hospital. And when I got there, I paid. No, I could pay now, and it was like, if I'll be around when you guys are leaving, you can just give me a call. I'll come take you home. And like, thank you, and he left. So now we went to the waiting bay, sitting there with my son. He had been undressed and he was only wrapped in a shawl. And my DM had also carried his clothes, so there were some clothes, and they were not even in a bag, even too, because she had also panicked. And I had my bag. So we got there and we sat at the waiting bay, just waiting to be attended to. And for some reason, I just sat down and told God, and I didn't even shed a tear, funny enough. I just told God, this strength that you've given me up to now, nizidishie nguvu. Because yes, I had panicked, but there are days, or some time back, I will just panic and I'll just, for me, machozi yangu nakuanga hapa. But on this day, I didn't even cry. No tear, hakuna machozi ilikuwa inatoka. This is why I was alone. I couldn't call anyone. By now it's at 1. I couldn't call anyone. Like ni saa 7 unapigia nani simu? People are asleep. Everyone is asleep basically. For me, that's the mentality I had, because sasa unaamsha watu kwa nini? We were at the hospital filling in the forms. Yani for me, I saw ilikuwa kazi kubwa sana kwangu, but I had to as fast as possible. So by now his fever was dropping. So I filled in the forms. We went to see the doctor. Now between the reception and the consultation block, it's quite a distance. But I walked. Nilikuwa natembea na so much energy, ile nguvu, and remember, he had been attended to, so his fever ilikuwa inashuka. But still, I just had to get to know what exactly the issue is and what will happen. So we were attended to by the doctor, and before anything else, or before waiting any other tests, he was given nebulizer. And again, I had to leave that block, go to another block that had corner pharmacy, get the drugs, and go back. No, for me, this going back, now this is where I sat down and realized I'm strong. Because singekuwa peke yangu, at least someone will be holding my kid, na mimi niko huku, I'm rushing up and down. But I had to hold him, carry him up and down, up and down. I am alone, remember. So we got he was put a nebulizer, so he's crying, haitaki, but I have to hold him down. Yani, it was really hard for me, but again, nguvu ilikuwa tu inakuja. I had that strength within me. He was attended to. No, after akekio nebulizer, tukangojea, and then we went back to the doctor. The doctor told me the doctor told me he will be okay. He will be okay. Akatubadilishia dawa, and I was to go back after 5. I was to return him after 5 days. So I even asked the doctor, you're sure he'll be fine? Hata kwa hakuna admission inahitajika. So no. This boy will be fine. Just go back home. Mtapewa the drugs nimekuandikia, make sure you give them to him and come back after 5 days. But nothing will happen. She just told me, just come back after 5 days. So we went back. No, I left that block, had to go and clear. By this time it was around 3 in the morning, and before now we got cleared, I sat down on the reception bench, and it was cold. I think there were around just 2 people, and it was a couple, and then it was a couple. They had brought a kid. They had 2 kids, but I think one was unwell, and there was also another couple with their son, but their son is a grown man, but they had brought their dad. Now I sat down and I was like, these guys wako poa, wameleta mtoi. Like, there's a kind of support you need. There's a kind of support that needs to be there. But I didn't have that. Support. But I made it through. Tunafanya clearing saa hizi, tunaenda nyumbani. Nimehangaika na mtoto wangu Hosi. Nimemaliza. We are going home. And I told God, this strength nizidishie nguvu ya ku make sure my kids are okay. I can fathom, yani neza shinda anything that comes my way. And there's one thing that I always pray, my kids being healthy. I always pray for that, and I always thank God for that. And then so by 3, I think by around 4 we were back home. The boy, the following day, after amekunywa, he was very okay. Within 5 days, he was back to his norm. But now, I think that experience, kuna venye, it hardened me, and it gave me the strength to accept and keep going. The same thing happened with my daughter. She was, I think, 1 year and 8 months. She had iron deficiency anemia. But before we discovered that, it was in and out of hospital, like all the time with infections. So there's this day, at that time I was close to my parents' place. So this specific day, I met with my mom. It was on a Sunday, so my mom went to church, and I took my daughter to hospital. And I sat there and I explained what the issue was. And the doctor was like, we'll do a blood test. But before I told him, I am tired. I remember I told that doctor, nimechoka. Then the doctor was like, what is the issue? Besides, mmekuja na mgonjwa. Kambia, no, this has been the norm. In and out. My mom would call me, she's not feeling well, she has an infection. Then kidogo she's not feeling well, she has what is it called, she has a rash, which is an infection. It was an infection. Yani, she has boils. It was infection after infection. So I explained out to the doctor, and it was like, okay, so that is what has been happening. And I was like, yes. And each time we go to the hospital, we're just given antibiotics, painkillers, inaisha, kidogo nyingine inatokea. So she had to get akatolewa damu hapa. But now, if you've taken a kid to hospital, kuna yenye mshipa ipatikani, ni mwanze kutafuta, daktari anatafuta sijui umedungwa mara ngapi. Now that is what was happening to Joy. She was, I think, 3 years. 3, no? No, she was 1 year, 8 months. Anze kutafutiliwa kwenye damu itatolewa. Ni that hiyo, yani they are just scenarios that they break you, but you just have to be strong, because at that point huwezi lia. Amedungwa, wanatafuta, wameitana madaktari wanne. Alidungwa ya ile ya hapa, and then they had to press kutoa, I think, enough blood as much as they needed. And she had, no, that's when they discovered she had iron deficiency anemia, and she was put on drugs, a meal plan, na akakuwa poa. I don't think I've gone back to hospitals due to hizo infections and all, and everything went well. So these are just two scenarios of things that have made me strong despite going through them. I have felt the need to just be strong. Yani ile nguvu it comes when you even least expect, because yani I thought I'd cry at this point, I'd break down, but hauna, you're there alone, you're there solo. Who mtu yeye anakuangalia zile za just take this pain away from me. How are you going to do that? The only thing you have to do is just to be strong by yourself. You're doing it, and you're doing a good job. So for me, that is what has always kept me going. Just seeing my kids in good health, always praying to God that I may not go through such ordeals, and I thank God. Now I think after that, my daughter got, again in 2019, now that's when again she got sick, and after a few tests she had peptic ulcers, and 2019 was maybe it was that year it was not a good year for me, but I never complained, because like I said, there are things you have to go through in life for you to discover how strong you are, and you're stronger than you think. And right now she's okay. That was in 2019. Akapewa madawa, and she's well. So what we just did is she was given a list of things of meals to avoid, or things to avoid. But right now I think we are doing, because she can take yogurt, she can take maziwa mala, but once in a while, not all the time. Oranges, she actually loves oranges, but they're just things she can't, like, if you remember when I was doing my shopping haul, I Milo and drinking chocolate are just for her. She doesn't take tea leaves. So yeah, there are things we've totally avoided, but she's okay. She's a healthy girl like Aisha, and ako poa. So for me, just seeing my kids through such kind of ordeals, I think it has just made me strong. Because if you can be able to persevere, some things in life, you can even go far. Prayers, faith, being kind to people, there are things that come in handy to be able to give you the strength to keep going. Yeah, because I've shared enough. There's also something I wanted to say. There's something I wanted to say. Lakini nimesahau. Yeah, so those are scenarios that have emerged stronger than I thought, and seeing my kids in good health, I keep going. I really keep going. I wake up, I work. I live a day at a time. Actually live a day at a time. And I always thank God. So just decided to share those two stories. And if there's someone struggling out there, and then there's this, sometimes unaweza pata, okay, you can find someone going through a tough time and you're also doing the same, but you look at them and you're like, I think I'm in a better place. and you instead find yourself putting them in your prayers. Yeah, but we keep going. Be unstoppable. Hmm? And there's something I always say. If things can't work out, I move. I move. I keep going. Nothing should hold me back. I keep going. So that is it. I just felt like just sharing that and share with you guys what keeps me going as a single parent. Because even being a single parent, a mom or a dad, just having kids around you, it's a blessing. It's a blessing by itself. Just being called a mom, being called a dad, that is a blessing. So thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to my channel. Manze, but we had 50 subscribers. Twendeni, songeni. Thank you so much. And if you'd like me to share what keeps me going, what gives me the strength to keep going, yeah, what pushes me, tell me in the comments below. You can also share your stories in the comments below. And yeah, tunasonga, waking up with a smile on your face, waking up with a smile on your face, and alive. Kuna kitu poa kama hiyo. So thank you guys. Stay safe, wear your mask, wash your hands. So until next time, bye guys. See ya.